This is where we left off the last time when I got stuck. So I took all this off. So we're back to the spot where I was. I've taken the two nuts out here, or bolts I should say. Here and here, they're both out. I took this lock nut off. Now, as you can see, I'm sure, it is a Torx head. So that's what you have to put on that stud. Well, guess what? This is the smallest socket in the little kit that I bought. It's an E6. It's too big. Now, I could go all caveman and just put a big pair of vice grips on it and just, turn it out. But I'm stubborn about stuff like this. I'd rather use the right tool and not, mash that all to pieces. So, I guess I need to go find an E5 or an E4 because an E6 isn't big enough. Thanks a lot, toolkit. Thanks a lot, Ford, for putting that little teeny thing there. Ha! Look what works on this. This is a 4mm standard, socket. Fits right on there, so that works perfectly. So that'll get it off. Just a little tip: if you run into some oddball deal like this, try one of your metrics. It fits perfectly. Have a good grip on it. I'll be able to get it off now, I think. I'll be back. And there it is. There's the old one. Came right out, finally. That's where the stud was located. There's the stud. It kind of went pop when it came out. And I felt around in there and the window's still all the way up. The window didn't move. None of this moved. So, just for the heck of it, let's just test this thing. I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't work a little bit because it doesn't have any load on it now, but just because I'm curious, I'll throw a tester on it and see what happens. And we'll show you that. Hooked up, see what happens. Notice it runs, but very slowly. I'm not surprised that it runs a little bit under no load. But let's put the new one in and see what happens. Okay, there was only a small amount of difficulty to do this. Put it in. Let me give you some. I'll get down on the ground a second. There we go. All right. A couple of tips. What I've learned here. First of all, when you put this in, these two, since they're recessed, you can't reach in with your fingertips very well anyway. So I have some 8mm sockets that are magnetized on the bottom, so you can hold the screw in and do like this and put it on. So that made it a lot easier. I would suggest that as the first tip. The second tip is when you're putting this back in, start the stud first so it's on there being held up and it's loose, but then work this on until it meshes with the gear back behind there. The actual semicircular thing is like, if you follow the trace of my finger, it's like that. Hang on, if I can. Apparently not so much. Okay, let's try this again. All right, wiring harness is out of the way. The arc of the thing is like this, and that's the gear head that it meshes with. So you put this in, and you kind of wiggle it in there until that's mostly centered. You can see the holes. They don't have to be exactly centered, but you can see them enough to get the bolts on. Notice, get those started, and then kind of wiggle it, reach back behind here through this hole, and kind of press on it, make sure it's in there, you know, meshed. It's not going to be in there perfectly meshed, but you want it to at least be close. Then tighten this stud, and then put that on tight, that nut. That nut is important. It holds this thing really solidly stable. Since you've already got these two things started, then tighten those, and as you tighten them, you'll hear this thing kind of want to move a little, but that's okay. It kind of groans and creaks. And then as you tighten it up, it'll go kind of pop. Not real loud, but you can hear it snapping into place, this gear with that. I also put some heavy grease on the gear, on the motor, just because, you know, why not? Let's see. Oh, if I reach back there, I can feel that tooth gear. I might slop some grease on my fingers and just kind of like put it all on these teeth, just to help the motor along a little bit. Now, well, Robert, how's it going? It's good. Her motor is. Sorry for the interruption. A friend of mine just walked by. Anyway, I already plugged it all back in, so it works. Let me show you. Here's the switch for it. Notice how that door flexes whenever this window opens and closes. Well, that's pretty high torque stuff going on in there. So I'm going to put grease and whatnot on this, slop it on there real good. Help it along its way, maybe, you know. Why not? It's old like me. You can use it, I'm sure. But anyway, there you go, fellas and ladies, if you happen to be watching. Here's how you replace the window motor on a Ford Windstar. Not terribly difficult, certainly within the capabilities of any DIY person, in my opinion. Thanks. Since I have the door panel off and the keys in the ignition, I guess I should show you something else that's strange about this car, or with many things. Well, there's the window, same works from the driver's side too, so that's good. Oh, look. Alright. Door locks. None of the door locks work. These power ones, none of them move. They don't make that sound, of course. But you can hear me clicking it here, and that's not moving. So, alright, there you go. There's another oddity. Now that's the window, that's the little window in the back. Oh, check this out. That window hasn't worked for weeks. And now that I've fixed this window, that window works. Now that's an oddball deal. See this cluster of switches here? Look. There's the driver's side, front. Passenger side, front. The rear vent mirror. You hear it opening and closing. There it goes. See? That doesn't work. It was working. You just heard it work. But now it's not. So, odd things with this car's electric system. See, this hadn't worked for 2 or 3 months. It's been stuck open. Which, since it's a vent window, is not that big a deal, I guess. But it just worked. You heard it work. I saw it work. It closed. Now, oh, it did it again. That's a dodgy switch, would be my guess. Maybe go in there and clean that switch contact. I don't know. But the motor clearly works because it's, you know, run it. Alright, okay. Maybe do a little switch investigations for the windows to get them fully working. But the door locks do not work. Push down on the little button. It goes clickety clack. You can hear the solenoids, but nothing's moving. Yeah. Ford. Well, it is 15 years old with 200,000 miles, so it's hard to give it too much grief about having problems, gremlins. It's old. It's been heavily used. It still runs great, though. Guess that'll be my next little project, figuring out the door locks. Looks like I'll be doing our driver's side window motor next. Let's see. It's dragging. At auto, it goes like this. That's at auto. Let's see, a little up and down though. I'll wait till it just quits working, I guess.